In the heart of a secluded meadow, where sunlight filters through the trees, casting long shadows on the ground, lies an unexpected and horrifying scene that defies the serene setting. Picture a once majestic horse, now visibly suffering, its flesh marred by a grotesque wound. This is not just any ordinary injury. It's a gaping, festering wound, crawling with an incessant swarm of bees. This unsettling sight stirs a mixture of horror and fascination, evoking an almost morbid curiosity. As we draw closer, the scene reveals itself in excruciating detail. The horse's wound, pulsating with life, is a hive of activity. Bees, tiny agents of chaos, dart in and out, their buzzing filling the air with a sinister soundtrack. It's an infestation of disturbing proportions, as the wound seems to have become a living hive. The bees, drawn by the warmth and moisture of the exposed flesh, have found a most unlikely home, transforming the horse into a grotesque host for their colony. This peculiar phenomenon is a dark reminder of the relentless cycle of nature, where life and death intermingle in the most unexpected ways. The bees, oblivious to the pain they cause, are simply following their instincts, searching for a suitable environment to thrive. In this case, their chosen habitat is a wound, a macabre canvas on which they build their hive. The infestation begins with a single bee, perhaps drawn by the scent of the horse's blood or the warmth of its body. This solitary scout marks the beginning of a process that quickly spirals out of control. Soon, more bees arrive, attracted by the initial scout's pheromones, and they begin to build their hive within the wound. The horse, unable to escape the torment, is subjected to an agonizing experience as the bees continue to multiply, burrowing deeper into the flesh. As the infestation progresses, the hive grows, filling the wound with a writhing mass of bees. The horse, in the heart of a desolate field, where the air hangs heavy with humidity, we stumble upon a sight so grotesque it demands attention. A solitary ox, once a proud creature of the pasture, now bears a wound that darkly contrasts with the vibrant green surrounding it. A horrific hive of bees, swollen and pulsating, has made its home in the gaping wound on this gentle giant. This shocking scene pulls the viewer in, unleashing a torrent of questions. How did this happen? What drives these tiny creatures to such monstrous behavior? As we delve deeper, we explore the chilling reality of bee infestations and their unsettling relationship with the animal kingdom. This ox, now a canvas of nature's cruel twist, has become a victim of a phenomenon known as meiosis, a term that, while foreign to many, perfectly describes the invasion of living tissue by parasitic entities. In this case, the bees, generally known for their industriousness and vital role in pollination, have turned their attention to this unsuspecting beast. What might appear as a simple misfortune holds deeper ecological implications, challenging our understanding of nature's balance. One might think bees, with their intricate social structures and communal hives, would display benevolence. However, when faced with an open wound, their instincts push them toward survival even in the most grotesque of manners. The ox's raw and suppurating flesh offers an ideal environment for the bees. Here, the combination of warm, moist conditions creates a breeding ground for these pests. They lay their eggs in the exposed flesh, and as the larvae hatch, they feast on the very tissues that sustain their larger host. It's a horror show orchestrated by evolution, driven by the undeniable need for survival. The insects swarming this ox represent a dark. In the quiet stillness of a sun-drenched meadow, a striking white horse stands, its coat gleaming like freshly fallen snow. But upon closer inspection, a horrific sight emerges: a gaping wound, a grotesque hive of bees embedded in its flank, a living testament to nature's darker side. This is not merely a wound, it is a battleground, a chaotic swirl of buzzing insects that have turned this majestic creature into a host for their insatiable appetite. The bees, drawn by the horse's warmth and the scent of its sweat, have burrowed into its flesh, creating a grotesque fusion of life and decay. The horse, once a symbol of grace and beauty, now bears the scars of an infestation that is as fascinating as it is repulsive. As we delve deeper into this unsettling scenario, we uncover the biology behind the infestation. Honeybees, known for their industrious nature, can sometimes become overly zealous in their quest for a suitable nesting site. In this case, the horse's soft skin provided an irresistible opportunity. The bees, driven by instinct, have created a hive within the horse's body, a phenomenon that, in the desolate expanse of the Arctic, where the biting winds howl like lost souls and the icebergs loom like ancient sentinels, A chilling tale unfolds, a tale that intertwines the majesty of nature with the grotesque realities of survival. Picture, if you will, a polar bear, the very embodiment of strength and resilience, now marred by a horrific wound that tells a story of desperation and decay. This is not just any injury, it is a gaping, festering hive of bees, a grotesque spectacle that defies the natural order. As the camera zooms in, the viewer is met with a sight that is both shocking and captivating, a mass of buzzing, angry bees swarming around the bear's flesh, their tiny bodies working in unison to create a living nightmare. The polar bear, a creature that typically reigns supreme in its icy domain, now finds itself in a battle not just for survival, but for its very dignity. The bees, drawn to the bear's warmth and the scent of its wounds, have established a hive in the gaping cavity of its flesh. This infestation is not merely a nuisance. It is a grotesque symbiosis that highlights the fragility of life in the harsh Arctic environment. The bear's thick fur, once a protective barrier against the elements, now serves as a breeding ground for these relentless insects. The buzzing swarm is a cacophony of chaos, a dark symphony that underscores the bear's plight. As we delve deeper into this unsettling scenario, we must confront the reality of bee behavior. These industrious insects, often celebrated for their role in pollination and the production of honey,